All right, guys and gals, back to work. Hope you guys had a profitable trading day today. Boy, markets are all over the place. We get some big earnings reports tomorrow and next week. Now, most importantly tonight, look closely at the charts right now and you'll see a very easy, obvious clue that traps are probably where the easy money is made tomorrow morning. I have 4 traps on my radar for Wednesday morning. Got some bull traps, I got some bear traps, and as always, I'm gonna cover the entire roadmap, all the entries, the exits. By the time we're done to this video tonight, you'll have an easy roadmap to make some money tomorrow morning as well. So charts are ready to go. Enough of the intro. Let's go make some money on Wednesday morning. Boy, charts look messy right now, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of good clues here. They're tipping us off to where the winning trades are tomorrow. NASDAQ triple Qs are all ready. The E-mini and the SPY is ready. I have 3 very important clues on the chart tonight that are telling us where the money-making trades are waiting for tomorrow morning. One of those big clues is right here on these hourly charts. I like to use these hourly charts as an overall directional filter. It's easy to see we're still very bullish on the S&P and SPY and still very bullish overall on the NASDAQ and the triple Qs. One of the most important clues, 1 out of 3 clues for tomorrow, is the bullish overall directional bias on the hourly chart. But you know what? These are great for overall direction, but they're not going to help us time entries for tomorrow. I have 2 more important clues on some faster time frames. Some tick charts help us time the best entries and wrap this all together for Wednesday morning. Now, speaking of Wednesday, before we talk about entries on the faster time frames, there are 3 things on my mind for tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. First of all, you always want to pay attention anytime we have red star news at 10 o'clock Eastern time. That's the first thing on my radar tomorrow. You know, everybody wants to hear what's happening behind the scenes of the Fed right now. The beige book is the second thing on my mind tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow afternoon, we have the first of the magnificent 7 tech stocks reporting tomorrow afternoon. Our buddy Elon and the Tesla crew report their corporate earnings the third quarter tomorrow after the close. That will be something we'll talk about more in tomorrow night's video. So make sure you come back and tune in tomorrow night. So big Tesla earnings after the close tomorrow. It's probably why the markets are so nervous right now. First of the big tech companies reporting tomorrow afternoon. And again, don't sleep on that 10 o'clock home sales number tomorrow morning. We'll see if we get some fireworks there at 2 o'clock from the beige book. That's what's my schedule for tomorrow, 10 o'clock, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and big earnings from Tesla. Let's get back to our charts though, because it's good to know when the news is, but the money is made on these charts. Let's dive into the S&P and SPY first. We'll get to the NASDAQ triple Qs here as soon as possible. I mentioned earlier, there's 3 clues on the charts right now. 1 clue is this overall bullish directional bias, but we're not going to use a time chart like this to trade off of. I always use tick charts. Tick charts are based on volume. They make pattern recognition a hell of a lot easier. Everything's easier with tick charts. All the time frames up there in the upper left-hand corner. And if you're watching for the first time right now, welcome to the channel. This, my friends, is the 21 EMA. As you can see, it's pretty much the only indicator we need to find lots of winning trades each week. I promised you 2 more important clues. One very important clue is strong moves in both directions. Strong move down, strong move up, strong move down, strong move up. This usually tips us off to basically one big trading range. Ranges are all about rotation. We expect this market now to want to rotate back to its low, back up to its high, and keep on rotating back and forth. It's one of the most important clues we have on the charts right now. The final clue, you can easily see we got some lower lows, some lower highs, and that bear channel, right, as it kind of rotates going lower here. Now, we are an overall bull market in the 60-minute time frame, but this bear channel certainly does give the sellers some chances here. So put those 3 clues together. Overall bullish, got that big range here right now. This is why I said earlier, it looks like traps are likely where the money is made tomorrow. Bull traps to sell off the highs, bear traps to buy off the lows, bull traps off the high. Now, be aware of this. We're overall bullish on the 60-minute time frame. So with that said, I can be a lot more aggressive on the bear traps to buy off the lows than I would be on the bull traps to sell off the high. I mentioned earlier, I have 4 different types of trap setups I'm tracking for tomorrow. As we rotate off this high, there's a couple easy ways to use bull traps to make money. One way is what I call a crown reversal pattern. It's basically a bull trap off the high. You'll notice the buyers ran all the way up right into this overhead resistance, and this, of course, is channel coming down here. We're overall bullish, so I can't pick the top on this, but right now we have setting up what I call a crown reversal. Buyers have tried to keep the price going once. If I can go lower and try again, anytime I see a lower low in price and move right above a prior swing, a nice strong red candle closing below that 21 EMA, that is a gorgeous, I call these crown reversal patterns. It's basically a bull trap like I teach in the free video course. Remember, I want to go right above that prior high. Strong red candle closing below moving average is your entry signal. Targets, of course, are back at the other side of that trading range. That is always the creme de la creme of bull traps. Oftentimes, though, what happens is we don't get that run higher and the market begins to grind down. And I know a lot of you guys love these patterns, and you should, because they're very easy to trade. If this thing begins to grind going lower, very simple, draw a trend line off those kind of grinder lows, bring that trend line up top, find that channel, look left, find a prior swing high, and of course, repeat after me, first test is the best test. I call these V-top reversals or pop and grind reversals. It'll pop down, grind going lower. The grinder is always the giveaway. Draw that trend line tight off of those lows. And again, don't miss that first test. I like bull traps off the high. I like buyer failure patterns off the high. We teach those, of course, in more detail in our free video classes. One final bull trap off the high. Sometimes we don't get that grinder down. Sometimes it'll pop lower, and it's very tempting to want to chase after this. We don't want to chase after it. What I'm going to do is look for what I call a pop and a pullback. It'll pop lower. I don't want to chase after it. What I'll do is I'll look for a two-legged pullback. Now, in the free video course, we talk about measured moves, or ABCD. Imagine a measured move that goes a bit too far. That will give me the area for that pullback. Then all I do is I use a simple setup I call a failure pattern. Let the buyers come in and try once, try twice. Once those buyers try twice up there, now I've got you trapped. Now your stops are sitting right here. I can sell right into those stops. Think about this. If you're long up here, if you're caught long up here, and you get stopped out, those stop losses are sell orders, right? That's why I like to run stops to get quick targets going lower. Now, if we're lucky, we'll get a failure pattern into a technical bull trap pattern. I teach this in more detail in the free video course. There are kind of three things to look for. One is a separation off the moving average. Two is a lower low in price, right? Remember, lower lows set up that swing high. And three is that bull trap off the high. So a third option there, if we pop down, think about that two-legged pullback, a bit more than a measured move, that will give you the area of resistance you want. We're not going to pick a top on this, obviously. We want to trap these bulls in, run those stops, and then as it rolls over, that's your failure pattern into what I call a technical bull trap pattern. It's that separation of the moving average, lower low in price, and don't miss that bull trap signal coming in off of that high. Those are three out of the four trap trades for tomorrow. Now, before we talk about that fourth one, let's slow down for a second, because I know that most of you guys and gals watching right now, you know these patterns. You're making money with these already. But if you're here for the first time right now, this might be a brand new language, a brand new strategy. I do look at things a bit differently, as you can see here on this YouTube channel. But don't you worry, I teach this entire strategy. I have hundreds, if not more, examples of traps, two-legged pullbacks, failure patterns, crown reversals. I teach all of this in so much more detail and a lot of examples of recent setups in our free video classes. I'll put a link up top here for you. Don't you worry. Link up top there. Hit that link that popped up and take that free trading course, because the strategy I teach in that short video series will teach you a stupidly simple trick we use in our members trade room that tells us where the winning trades are waiting for us each each day. More importantly, I want to teach you my 4 favorite entry patterns, help you time better entries, start making more money each morning. Guys, the markets are way too good right now not to be making consistent profits. If you're tired of missing the best entries, if you've lost your confidence in your current trading strategy, again, hit that link that popped up there. Take that free video course. Everyone loves all the trade examples inside that free video series. It is perfect for anyone who's serious about making money in these wild markets. And don't forget too, guys, I'm going to put all the important links you'll need to learn more in the description of the YouTube video. Start first on the free video course, learn the roadmap, start making money on your own with that. Don't forget too, we trade together every morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll put trade room membership links, description of the video. And keep in mind too, I post a lot of updates on Twitter or X. I'm always posting charts and videos and mindset stuff. If you're on Twitter X, give me a follow. Again, all the details you'll need to learn more and hopefully earn a lot more, or I'll link to the description of this YouTube video. So I talked about 3 different types of bull traps: the crown reversal pattern, the pop and grind pattern, and the pop and pullback pattern. Now, as we go lower, this is a great place for taking profit on my shorts, right? Great spot for profit targets down here. Horrible spot to be a seller, right? I wouldn't want to sell down here. I know we're pretty bearish in the short term, but don't lose sight of where we are in the big picture, right? We're still pretty bullish overall right now. So as we go lower here, this again is a horrible spot to be a seller. I would love to trap in some rookie bears who are chasing after this thing. You'll notice I get this pendulum swing off the high, trend lines, right? This whole area down there, I mentioned this 58.50 level in last night's video. I do still believe that level is a key level for tomorrow. So to trap in some bears down here, there's basically one type of pattern sequence to look for at these lows. We find ourselves all the way at that low right now. Remember, I'm not going to pick a top and a bottom, right? We're not going to pick bottoms on this. That's a rookie mistake. This could easily keep on going lower tomorrow. I'm not going to pick a bottom on this. What I will do though is once the market pulls back here, we know this is not the right place to be selling. So trap in some bears once, twice. Now, why twice? Because I want their stops. Right? Because anyone who's foolish enough to sell down there, their stops be right there. What happens if you get stopped out? If you're short and you get stopped out, you buy your way out. Those stop orders get triggered. Those are buy orders. These are areas where everyone is buying. Why? Because anyone who sold short off the high, they're taking their profit. They're buying down here. Buyers are going to buy low. And now the rookie bears are trapped in and they become buyers as well. Everyone is a buyer. That's why these work so well. We saw today, right? Run down, trap them in, right? That's why it works so well, because everyone is buying. They sold up here. They're buying down here, buying their way out of that trade, and stops get hit. Anyways, that 2-try failure is the first pattern in the sequence. Again, I call these failure patterns in the video course. It's called a 2-try failure because we're so bearish here in the short term. Now remember, once this thing squeezes off that low, where does it want to go? It wants to rotate back and forth like this. So as it goes higher here, this is where we get that technical trap pattern, right? Now remember, you always want to see that separation. Separation off the moving average is always an easy giveaway because separation equals strength. So step 1, separation. Step 2, higher high in price. Step 3 is a pullback right below that low. And of course, the signal on this one is a strong green candle closing above that 21 EMA. Remember this channel, remember these ranges, remember leave those runners, right, back and forth as we go. As we get up top here, right, and remember, I can be a little more aggressive buying off that low. As I get back to the high, it has to be that bull trap, right? That crown reversal pattern. It has to be that V top where it grinds back down. Short that first test is the best test. Or if it pops down, pop and pull back. And again, that 2-try failure back down again. The same patterns we mentioned earlier here on the S&P, right? Those are 4 of my favorite trades here for tomorrow. Now, I do have some variations of this, right? These are my 4 favorite trades for tomorrow. Why don't we cover some variations of these? Because, you know, the market's a bit messy right now. We may not get the kind of the picture perfect setups we want here. We'll cover some variations right now over on the NASDAQ. Now, before we talk about NASDAQ, if you're enjoying this video, please help me grow this channel by hitting that like button, subscribing, and share this video link with other trading buddies. That small action takes no time for you, but makes a huge impact on my channel because YouTube, believe it or not, rewards me every time you like, share, and subscribe. I know we're all busy people these days, especially into the holiday season, and I appreciate you guys spending a few minutes with me every evening on these videos. So thank you so much for the likes, the shares, the subscribes. Now, let's go out and talk about NASDAQ. NASDAQ overall, you can easily see we are bullish overall. There's no doubt about that. Let's go to the tick charts though. Tick charts are where the big clues are. Step one is always overall direction on the higher time frame. Step two now, go down to the faster time, the lower time frame. Again, the tick chart, right? Tick charts are better for entry tactics because they're based on volume. And what do you see right now on the NASDAQ? One of my favorite chart patterns, it's a range, right? Remember, anytime we see big move, big move, big move, big move, back and forth, we see big moves back and forth like that. There's a range in here somewhere. That range, of course, is right there. Now that range tells us the middle of that range is a magnet, right? Ranges are magnets because that's where the volume piles up. A lot of volume piling up right in the middle of that chart right now. So ultimately, we're above the top of this range right now. Great spot right now for a bull trap back down again. Great spot for a bear trap back up again. We simply keep on trading this rotation. The same patterns we talked about earlier on the S&P can easily be applied here to the NASDAQ. We've got a beautiful crown reversal pattern setting up as we speak here. Lower low in price, above that high. I won't go over all these once again, but same crown reversal pattern there. Same potential for the pop and grind running lower, right? Same potential now for a pop and a pullback going higher. Again, same game plan we mentioned earlier on the S&P can easily be overlaid on the NASDAQ. Let's talk about some variations though. Oftentimes, whenever we see a strong run up like this, we'll get a pullback and a retest of the high. Anytime we see a strong move in one direction, the likelihood of a retest is very high. This is a great place for a profit target if you were buying the pullback, and a horrible spot to be buying. I would never want to be a buyer at all of this area of resistance up above such an obvious, juicy trading range acting like a magnet. So what I'll do in these cases is, if we go back up and take out that high here, remember, I'm not going to pick a top on this, right? I'm not going to blindly sell this thing back down again. There's no indicator that's consistent enough to give us that signal. What I'll do is I'll let the rookies come in and basically wrap that rope around their neck, right? Let them try once, let them try twice, and again, 2 tries, because once they try twice, now I know their stops are right here, and I can now use those stops to fuel that move going lower. If you recall earlier on the S&P, I talked about that 2-try failure into that technical bear trap pattern. Remember that earlier on the video here this evening, right? That's the failure into trap combination off the low. It's the same thing, right? Going lower here, right? So as we go higher, we trap the bulls in, 2 tries to run stops. As we run lower, keep your eyes on the moving average. Watch for that shallow pullback. Remember, separation equals strength, lower low in price. Mark that swing high between the two and look for that short signal coming off that high. Classic failure into trap combination. I get a lot of emails from you guys making money with these consistently each week here off these lessons. So that is what I call a double top, right? A double top retest. Now be aware, right? This may go up. We may not get that 1 try, 2 try. It may run up, get whacked back down again. That same grinder, right? If it grinds down, it's always an easy giveaway. Find that grinder, find that prior swing. Don't miss that first test off the high of that channel. And again, too, may go up, right? Pop, pull back, and a short back down again. Same thing applies down here too, right? Same thing applies down here. We may run our way all the way back down again. We may get that nice, easy 1, 2. I oftentimes get these 2-try failures. It'll pop up. I'll get my 1-to-1 first target. My stop moves up to point of entry. But sometimes what happens is, like we saw this morning, right? Sometimes what happens is it'll roll over and retest that low before it makes that run back up again. Those double bottom retests in an overall bull market are a gift to the buyers here. So if for some reason we get that bounce up and it rolls back over again, remember, anybody who sells short up here, they're taking their profit back at these lows. Sellers up here become buyers down here. This is a horrible spot to be selling, and it's definitely not a reversal. We're going to see a lot more than a double bottom to reverse this overall bull market, that big move up we saw on the hourly time frames we mentioned earlier. So same thing again, right? Same thing. Use that 2-try failure pattern into that, you guessed it, that trap combination. I'm going to make sure you guys know these failure into trap combinations because they work so well, right, in these situations here. That double bottom retest, very, very good clue in an overall bull market. And also too, right, if we don't, for some reason, if we don't get that 1-2 going higher here, sometimes things get a bit wild, right? Sometimes they'll run lower, we'll V bottom off that low, right? We don't get a good entry signal down here. These can be a bit tough on the emotions, right? If we V bottom off that low, most V bottoms are going to grind and go back up into that trading range. We know how the market wants to move, right? It wants to rotate back and forth inside of this range. So once it begins to grind up like that, don't chase after it. The last thing you want to do is chase after it. Mark off that high, mark off that low, look left, find those prior swings that line up right around the first test of that channel, and don't miss that bear trap or that seller failure, that pullback combination. Maybe if we have enough space for it, a strength trade going higher. You'll know what I mean by that if you're in our free video classes right now, right? That V bottom reversal off of that low. All right, guys, that's the game plan now for tomorrow, right? We're selling bull traps off the high. We're buying bear traps off the low. Think about that failure into trap combination, right? All right, hopefully this is all making sense to you now. Don't forget tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, especially for all the new folks who are learning this stuff tomorrow morning. Guys, the easiest way to start making money in these markets is come out and learn and trade along every morning in our trade room, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to put all the important links you guys need to get started to learn more about membership. I'll put all the important links in the description of the YouTube video. I would recommend start first on the free video series. Everyone loves the free video course. Don't forget to, any trouble getting started on the free video classes, you can always use live chat on the homepage or call the office if you guys have any tech support issues on getting access to our free video class. We're always here answering questions, especially for tech support stuff. And hopefully you learned a bunch in tonight's video. Hope you use this knowledge to earn a bunch tomorrow morning. And hopefully I'll see you trading with me sometime soon as a member of the morning trade room at 8 o'clock Eastern time, guys. In the meantime, hope you learned a bunch tonight. Be well, be nice to each other out there, and you better be here next time, right? Adios, amigos. Bye for now.